How's it going? Today we're going to be making suet crust Cornish pasty, or as we like to call them in Cornwall, pasties.
I'll take you to the pasty shop for a flaky and a can of pop. If you're lucky, we'll be yours. I'll take you to the pasty shop. Roll.
Now normally when you make a pasty, if you make your own pastry, you can buy your own pastry if you want, it's no big deal. They use lard, but today we're going to be using suet. Now, not a lot of people use suet in their pasties. Suet is something you use in dumplings. Now, you can buy suet in the supermarket. It's called a Tora, comes in a blue box, got a little yellow trim around it, and it's got a picture of a dumpling on it. But I went to the butcher's and I got some suet from the butcher's. So if you ask your butcher, might sort you out. So that's what we're going for today. We're going for an old school pasty. Now, if you're going to follow along, this will make 2 medium-sized pasties, and they hopefully should be bloody handsome. To make the pastry, you need 200 grams of plain flour, 100 grams of suet. You can use the Atura shredded suet, it's totally fine. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and a bit of salt. Then to mix it all together, you'll need some water.
I'll take you to the pasty shop for a flaky and a can of pop.
Now, for the innards, I've got 200 grams of beef skirt. Now, if you go into your butcher's and ask for a bit of skirt, he'll know what you mean. He might tell you that old joke that's about a million years old and say, we all love a bit of skirt. You could use rump steak, you could use chuck steak. I wouldn't recommend using shin. That's probably the only one I wouldn't recommend because it'll be tougher than old boots. So a bit of skirt is the standard down here in Cornwall. Now for the innards, you want a tatey. You want an onion, or as we like to say, onion, and turnip. It's a Swede, but we call it turnip.
I'll take you to the pasty shop for a flaky and a can of pop.
Let's get on and let's make the bloody pastry. Right, so I'm just breaking the suet up. Put your flour in. Get your suet.
I'll take you to the...
You're gonna rub it until it's all mixed together. Otherwise it's gonna be handsome. It's like a very fine crumble. Then you want to add your baking powder. Add a bit of salt. Mix it up. Now, to make it into your dough, you want to add a little bit of water. Mix it and keep adding water until it forms a dough. Knead the bugger, knead it. So now you've got your dough. The secret is to put it in a nice little bowl, wrap it in cling film, put it in the fridge for half an hour. And while we wait for that, it's time to chop up our meat, tatey, onion and turnip. Right, now you want to preheat your oven to 200 degrees. Take your skirt and then you want to dice it up very small. Peel your turnip. I usually chop it in half. Chip it, working your way around the Swede, cutting off each corner. You want a diameter of about 1.5 centimeters. Chip your turnip. Peel your tatey, and you want to chop it in half and do the same that you did with the turnip. Now peel your onion. You want to cut it into little tiny pieces, like so. Season your mixture with salt and pepper. Take your pastry out the fridge, unwrap it, whack a bit of flour down, split it into 2 equal pieces. That's it, punch the bugger like you're having a fight in the pub. Roll each piece of pastry out into a circle, just under 0.5 centimeter in thickness. Take your rolling pin and lay it under your pastry halfway across the middle, creating a little lip where you can whack all your innards, making it easier for when you crimp the bugger. Put your innards in, making sure you got a nice mix of tatey, onion and turnip and meat. Piling it up high and it'll look handsome. Once it's full, get some milk and glaze around the edges of your pastry. Fold the pastry over the top, creating half a moon shape. Tuck in your innards. You don't want to open up the oven and your pasty's got his guts hanging out. And press the edges together, ensuring that none of the innards are trapped beneath the two pieces of pastry. Glaze again around the edge of your pastry, chopping off any excess pastry to ensure that it's a perfect half a moon. Hold the pasty in your left hand. Fold the pastry over your right thumb. Squeeze it together, move your hands along, tuck your thumb in and repeat. Folding with your left hand, folding the back of the pastry over your right thumb, moving along until you've completed it right the way across the edge of the pasty. I always get the end bit, I twist it up and tuck it under. Some people chop it off, but I like that extra bit of pastry. And there we have it, our first doggy, bloody handsome. Line a baking tray with greaseproof paper. Whack your pasties in the tray. Glaze. Make a little hole in the top with a knife so he can breathe. Lovely. Whack it in the oven. 200 degrees preheated oven for 55 minutes. Bloody handsome. Yeah. A Cornish pasty with the suet crust. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Proper job, cheers and gone.